Brian, what I just want to say, man, is people at the top of this entire pyramid and societal structure that we have are intentionally fomenting discord between the sexes and the races and everything in order to try and push our society to the brink. It is what it is. We can try and heal it as best as we can, but what I know is that the good women out there, they see chicks wearing shirts like that and they're like, absolutely, I don't support that. And they see, women like Hensley saying, oh yeah, I love emotionally manipulating guys. They don't support stuff like that. Society is going to continue to bifurcate in these two directions, where you've got based people that have like regular values and you've got all of these insane people. And I say, let it happen, man. Let these people show their cards, because I don't want to live around them. You know what I mean? And like, I'd rather they show who they are and feel more emboldened and empowered to be this way. And we can just like separate.
Well, yeah, I think in some ways it's good that they're so open with their misandry so that you can avoid these types of people, but
they're everywhere.
That it's so allowed in mainstream society is troubling to me.
Yeah.
Yes, you should start asking who is allowing it and why are they pushing this stuff. But what I will say, because those are very important questions, folks, but what I will say is the reality is, even though this stuff continues to become more and more mainstream, it's still such a small percentage of the population. Like, there's a lot of women out there that believe in the man hating and stuff like that. But like, the majority of people look at this stuff as completely ridiculous, which is why it's important for podcasts.
I disagree with you a little, though. I don't think it's a small minority of people.
It's just because it's constantly shoved down your throat in every sense of every mainstream.
Exactly.
People in the real world, I don't feel like
you talk to the average person, Brian, they're like, this is ridiculous.
They said that stuff about all the I don't know if I want to go here, but they said that all this kind of woke stuff. Jordan Peterson had an interview 4 or 5 years ago with some chick in GQ, and her rebuttal to him was like, oh, well, this is just some crazy people in the universities, fringe professors here. It is the mainstream. Yeah. It is the mainstream culture.
Yeah, it's censored everywhere.
It's mainstream culture because that is what is put out on the mainstream. But there are people who don't believe it. But if the only thing that social media, news, if that's the only thing they're going to show, that's the only thing you're going to see.
But what is downstream of that? You have the universities, then you have the lower educational system. You basically have these indoctrination factories where the kids are going to school and their teachers are super woke and they're teaching them this bullshit. And
that goes back to having a relationship with your child. I asked my child, "What did you learn at school today? What tasks?"
But that shouldn't even be a topic.
Brian's point is this is happening in higher education. And this is a very important point, because all the girls that come through UCSB, they go in normal girls, they come out the other side like raging feminists and like BLM and like just every freaking social movement that you can possibly imagine, that is oftentimes rooted in cultural Marxism. They go through higher education and they come out just super brainwashed by all this stuff.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And you can keep a tight pulse on what your kids are learning in school.
But once you go to college, I mean, I've been through it. I've been through,
adults, they make their own decisions.
Yeah, people make their own decisions, but also at the same time, they're inundated from every side by authority figures while they're still in these formative years of their life.
You're more impressionable though, like teenage years, not when you're not when you're a college kid.
College kids are super impressionable. College kids are so impressionable.
They're most impressionable also when it comes to adolescence. They're not adolescents anymore.
I agree, but like when kids are going through college and they're being told by every single authority figure around them, hey, this is how the world works. The entire world was set up to oppress you as an individual, and white men and Christians and straight people are here to oppress you. They hear it from every direction.
It's happening in the childhood as well. It's just full on grooming at that point.
That's where I think it's more like permeable, whatever the word is.
Certainly.
During
even in
those
university.
Certainly.
When you're going to college, you're away from your parents for the first time. You're on your own. You're experiencing something you've never experienced before. Your parents aren't calling you, asking you what you're learning in class. Your parents aren't calling you. You're influenced by everyone around you because that's the only person that you have to speak, like that you talk to, that you're looking to your professors as people for guidance. You're going to you have an advisor, right? You have these paternal or not paternal, but like adult figures in your life.
Yeah.
Not if you raise your children right, though. If you raise your children right from adolescence, by the time that they're 18, 19, they'll be independent and thinkers for themselves. Because the way I was raised, by the time I was 18 years old, I never was peer pressured. I was thinking for myself, and my beliefs were my own. I wasn't like impressionable.
I feel like you're exceptionally independent, though, and probably like strong.
The general population is very impressionable and very persuaded by mainstream media, their teachers, everything.
All 4 years.
True.
All 4 years of
Holly's
college.
hiding her power levels.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
All 4 years of college, I did like freshman orientation. And you can have people like these kids come in day one with this persona. By the end of their freshman orientation, in 1 week, majority of them are a new person. Like I saw a kid passed out drunk on a front yard. His mom didn't raise him to do that. He now had his own freedom.
I'm not saying that the mom, but she didn't raise that child to be independent and not be able to be influenced by others. That's
it's
what
also
I'm saying.
the peer shit, though. Like, even on these podcasts, like the last one I was on, you asked everybody, like, what is a woman? And everybody went absolutely silent.
No way.
I saw that.
Nobody wanted to upset anyone. Yeah.
Oh my.
That is so funny.
Hold on.
Eve donated $300.
Oh, snap.
Ladies, about abortion, do you believe every soul deserves an opportunity in this world?
Oh, gosh.
Or could a variable such as wrong timing be enough to intercede in God's miracle of life? Hope my inquiry isn't deemed as condescending. # Christ is Lord. It's Evelyn.
Evelyn.
Let's get ready to rumble.
I'm sorry, Evelyn. I made